Good morning, you guys. Day number 41 of my Staybatical 250. This is my 100-day journey, attempting to change my body, my mind, and pretty much anything else that I see that happens. But I've been at this now since September 1st, and I'm well on my way to getting to December the 10th. That will be 100 days. And when I started out on this journey on September 1, December 10 sounded a long way away, and it was. And look, that was part of the challenge for me, was I wanted this to be something that meant something. And setting up 100 days of doing a protocol every day will force you to really kind of say, okay, how bad do you want this? And so for me, that's what the 100 days was about, getting started on. I needed something that would prove to myself that I wasn't just going to play around with something, that it would be something I would actually do, that I would have my heart into. Nothing was going to stop me, no holding me back, and I needed that challenge to push me. So that's what this is all about. Thank you for being here, you guys. Day 41, and I have a question to ask you guys today. Because as you know, I'm inviting you guys to join me on a 50-day challenge starting on my day 51. Well, that's coming up in 10 days, so I want to help prepare you for that. The question I have for you today is, what's really holding you back? Think about it. I'm going to step on your toes a little bit, maybe, because maybe you've watched me doing all of these videos and sharing from my heart all of these things, and you're like, good for Jimmy. I'm so glad he's motivated. I'm so glad he's out there. I'm so glad he is doing something for himself. And if that's been your attitude and there's been no internal reflection for yourself, I feel like I've failed if you only think this is about me. Yes, it is about me, and I'm very happy with what I've seen so far, but I've got to ask you that question. If you're reticent to start on a journey for yourself, what's really holding you back? And so we can go through all the typical things. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I don't think I have the willpower. I hate that one. Don't use that one. I don't have the energy. Jimmy, you just don't understand. Things in my life don't make it convenient for me. And look, I have probably used some variation of all of those things at some point in my life. All of them. And we tell ourselves these things that we can't because ... fill in the blank. And I want to reframe that for you guys. I think part of the mindset shift that needs to happen is, instead of saying you can't, try to figure out the ways that you can. Can has such a positive tone to it. When you say you can do something, can is glorious. Can is that potential that lies within you to do something you don't think you're capable of. I remember hearing as a kid, can't never could. Didn't quite understand it right away. But then when you ponder it, can't. If you say you can't do something, don't be surprised when you never can do something. And so I want to hear from you, and even if you've overcome the things that have been holding you back and you're well into a journey now, I want to hear how you did that. Did you reframe the can'ts into cans? Or I'll even be a little more judicious. Did you reframe the can'ts into, gee, I really, really hope so, because it's okay if you don't go all the way to can just yet. And I get it. Again, we've all been down that path where we feel like we're incapable of the things that we could be doing. And so I've just been pondering on this one a lot lately, and I'll tell you what brought it back to mind. It was on Saturday. Went back to the farmer's market, and I spoke with that lady that I buy my sugar scrub and body care products from. And last Saturday, she said, Jimmy, I know I need to start on losing weight. That's kind of her goal. And I said, okay, start right now. Day one, go. And she's like, but I'm, and I said, what's the matter? She said, but I said, you said you needed to lose weight. You needed to get into shape. Start right now. What are you waiting on? There is no time like the present to do the things that you need to do. And she was like, yeah, you're right. So I said, day one. She kind of gave me a little, this was last Saturday. So over the weekend, I went back, and she actually felt like she had to confess to me, like she was in a little box with a Catholic priest. Oh, Jimmy, forgive me, for I have sinned. I haven't started my plan yet. I'm like, well, why not? Why not? Go get after it. What's really holding you back? This delaying to get started on a journey that's going to provide you such benefits. And this kind of harkens to what I was talking about yesterday of, can you see in the future? Can you envision where you're going? Because if you don't envision where you're going and keep your eye on constantly trying to challenge yourself with new things, you're never going to start. And that boulder analogy I gave, you got to push that boulder, and yeah, it sucks at first. But then once it's rolling, you're rolling. And so for her, I felt so bad, because I was like, Arlita, get going, girl. You're killing me. Well, I guess I'll get around to it. No, get around to it means you're never going to do it. Hey, that rhymed and I didn't expect it to. Get around to it means you're never going to do it. And I fear for that she will just never start. I even told her, personally contact me. I will be your drill instructor and kick you in the ass to get you going. And yeah, I don't know. And that's a mindset that I don't think is rare. I think Arlita's mindset of, well, I'll get to it. Oh, well, let me get through the holidays and get to January 1st, and then I'll start. New Year's resolution, we all know how that ends. For most people, it's not very good. And so, what's really holding you back when you've been wanting to do a journey and you're not quite starting yet? What were the things that held you back? Now, a lot of you guys are keto successes, carnivore successes, other health journey successes. What was it that stopped holding you back? What was it that convinced you of the excuses that you had were no longer valid? What made you get up in the morning and have this zest for life to do the thing and to make change happen? I really want to hear from you guys today. I slept a little longer today. I was up. I'm getting better with when I'm waking up. So I was up a little bit early today and went down and relaxed in the massage chair for about an hour to try to kind of chill out and get back to sleep. And so anyway, had a little gap in my sleep, but slept all the way till about 30 minutes ago. And so I'm liking that this program I'm on that I'm doing for myself is at least trying to help me get on a more natural sleep schedule. But let me hear from you. Day number 41 of my sabbatical to 50. 100 days, you guys. I'm on this bad boy. And a lot of you guys have been cheering me on. I really am grateful for your presence here and all the people watching on the replay. Your presence during this journey has made it all possible. But let's hear from you. What's really holding you back? What is it that keeps you from attaining those things that you desperately want? This is the ironic thing. We all want and desire things in our life. And not just in a physical health journey. It could be relationship goals. It could be a job. It could be money. We all want things. What's really holding you back? What makes you not pursue this thing that you say you desperately want? What is it that's holding you back? Or if you've overcome that, what was it that triggered you to overcome it? So this ought to be a great discussion. What you got for me today, you guys? Welcome, welcome. Bulletproof Coconut. Go Jimmy! I expect your comment every day, Bulletproof Coconut. I get on here and I'm waiting for the all caps Go Jimmy with an exclamation point. Appreciate that, bud. Linda says, good morning. Linda, you out on your walk? This is usually the time of day you're on your walk as well. Brittany, hello Brittany. It should be I choose not to because instead of I can't because. Ooh, but you know why I choose not to because isn't what's used. Because when you say I choose not to because, it puts the onus right back on the person. Whereas when you say I can't because, well, there's external circumstances. You don't understand, Jimmy. And so I like that reframing. The unfortunate thing is people don't want to take the onus. They want to blame it on circumstances in life. And look, I will tell you, I'm being a little bit hypocritical here, and I'm going to share. I'm very vulnerable and open about things. I have talked about how the last 2 years of my life was quite hellacious, dealing with a lot of emotional stuff. We'll just leave it there. And I held off on doing anything for my physical body because I was working on that emotional stuff. Now, I was working on that stuff, so nothing was holding me back from working on that, but I was not working on the physical. So what was holding me back was I had other priorities at that point that needed to be taken care of. And now that I'm on the other side of that, healing from the emotional trauma I went through, I'm ready for the physical journey. So that did hold me back from the physical journey, but it didn't hold me back from doing anything at all. That makes sense. So there's always a choice, Brittany says. Yes. But again, that choice thing, people don't want to hear that. It points three fingers when they're pointing at, oh, look at that thing. It's pointing three fingers right back at themselves, and they don't even realize it, that it's totally on them to do all that. Oops, excuse me. Sorry, bro. I scared him. Del Norte says, I choose lazy most days. So ask yourself why, Del Norte. Why would you choose to be lazy? Now, I understand the temporary benefit you get from laziness. I understand that when you're laying around, it feels good in the moment. And I think this is a part of the problem with things that are holding people back. They view their lives through the prism of where they are right now. They're not looking into the future. They're not predicting, okay, down the road, I need to be in this sort of shape. They're not looking at, hey, if I don't prioritize myself now, then I'm sure to have health calamity down the road. And so when you look at it from the long view, you don't look at it as, okay, I want to Netflix and chill right now. Yes, that feels good right now. But down the road, you may not have the health or the ability to do the things you want to do down the road. That's part of my journey, you guys. I know, turning 50 in December, that I have to do what I'm doing right now. There's no question about it. Yes, in the meantime, I could be doing all the things that I want to feel good right now, but this isn't about 49-year-old Jimmy. This is about 55-year-old Jimmy. This is about 70-year-old Jimmy. I'm already looking at those guys and going, I'm going to do you right. I'm going to make you proud so that when I get to those times in my life, I'm not looking back and going, why the hell did I sit and watch TV? Ugh. I'm going to be like, damn, I'm glad I was out on that trail. I'm glad I was lifting weights. I'm glad I was doing all the things to take care of me, because now I'm able to do things that, but for those things happening, would have never happened. So if you're choosing laziness, that's a choice. You're mortgaging your future by making that choice now, is what I would say. And so don't let that hold you back. Don't rob from your future self just to satisfy your current self. I have a feeling a lot of people do that. Good morning, Shirley. Thank you guys for being here. Brittany says, I had this conversation with my dad just last night. He starts walking with me tomorrow. That's outstanding. That is so cool. It would be cool, Brittany, for you and your dad to do a walk and talk. Of course, the man, when he gets on camera, is a worse ham than Jimmy Moore. So I don't know if he would be serious on camera, but that would be fun to hear you guys jibber jabbering. Not that I'm suggesting that or anything, but that's great. I'm glad you got him motivated to want to get going. Angie says, getting my mindset in the right place is what's holding you back. Oh, no. Your mindset is there. Don't let the fact that you think your mindset isn't right hold you back. I feel like that if you take the initiative in a physical health journey and you just get going on it, something pretty magical happens. Look at what I'm doing now. Stay Badical to 50. My 100-day journey is all about body recomposition. That's one of the goals. What was the other goal? Mindset change. Mindset improvements. So, Angie, I'm going to step on your toes, my dear. It's only because I love you. You need to start and stop waiting for your mindset to be right. People do that with diets too. Well, when I'm in a good place, I'll start a diet. Okay, but when's the good place going to be? How do you know when you get there? How do you quantify that? And so I'd ask you the same thing. When is your mindset going to be right? You got to get your mindset right. When's that going to happen? When, pray tell, will you be able to say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. So I'm going to tell you, you're ready right now. And whatever your goals are physically, start pursuing them now. And then watch what happens to your mindset. You will thank me later, my dear. Gustafson says, good morning. Hello, hello. Haley says, it's fear. Yeah, but fear over what? What is the fear of? We all have fears in our lives. I'm having less and less of them because I'm a badass MFer. But fear is just your brain playing tricks on you. And when you see fear through that prism, there's nothing that will hold you back. And if fear is what's driving you to not do it, you need to come up with the opposite of fear. What are those things that you want to accomplish to make you feel invincible? What are those things that will drive you? Because fear is only an illusion. Most fears don't even manifest, don't even turn into anything. We just think them up in our heads. Oh, I'm scared that this will happen. And then if you actually get started on a journey, guess what? Most of those fears fall by the wayside. They're a big old nothing sandwich. And yet we still let those fears dominate our thoughts, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about a journey. I hate that, you guys. I hate that at just the moment our bodies and our minds are ready to go somewhat. We just don't even start because, oh, I'm scared of. And the funniest one to me was the people, and I've done a lot of these morning walks, and somebody said, I'm scared of succeeding. I'm like, what? Scared of succeeding? Well, I just don't know what it's going to be like. Well, it's going to be better than you are now if you're pursuing a health journey. Sometimes I feel like people let fears control them rather than them controlling their fears. Look, I have fears in my life. I'm the first to admit it. But I don't let the fears dominate me. The fears keep me in check is what they do. When I think I'm getting ahead and the fear kind of goes, it kind of like pulls me and gives me some resistance. But the way I see that is that's growing me in my emotional and psychological strength to have the fear. Oh, I love this. Look at this, you guys. Look at my big long shadow this time of day. I am 5,000 feet tall. Sorry, I'm still a little boy at heart. All right, so no fears, Haley, no fears. And she says, well, on the way now, health is steadily improving. Good. Keep at it. Do not let anything convince you that you need to stop. Keep going. Keep trudging forward. Redeemed Carnivore says, day 4 for me, fear is holding me back. Again, what's with the fear? Fear of what? Fear of failing? I've talked about this before, you guys. Failing is a part of the success journey. You must fail, stumble, fall, skin up your knee, literally in my case, in order to see the success you want. Like, I think we feel like going on a journey, that journey has to be absolutely perfect or else it's a failure. Stop with that bullshit. You guys have watched me out here go through some pretty rough stuff. And look, I'm here on day 41. My ankle is still giving me fits, but I'm still going. I'm trudging forward. I can't let a little pain in my ankle cause me to stop. I can't let that hold me back. So what is the fear? I'm real curious about this fear thing. I knew that would come up when I brought up this topic. What are you actually afraid of? What's really behind that fear? Here's another thing. When you start on a journey, let's just say a diet journey, and you've done like a low-fat diet, okay? And you tried it and it didn't work and you failed. And then you try another time, it didn't work and it failed. Da-da-da-da-da. Then you come to say a keto diet or a carnivore diet or real food diet, whatever you're doing. And you try it, but you go into it with the expectation that it's going to be like all the other ones you've ever done. Is that what's holding you back? Is the memory of past failures? You do realize that most people who try to like start a business fail at most of the things that they try until they find the winner chicken dinner. You realize that, right? That many of them spend all of their money that they've saved up to start something and it fails. And then they try again and it fails. And they try again and it fails. Repeatedly. I don't remember the exact statistic, but it's something like 19 times of trying something and failing until number 20 becomes what they're famous for. Turnaround time. So that fear of failing really needs to let go. That's what it is. But I'm real curious what the fear actually is. Linda says, my deck is covered with ice, so I'm doing inside laps today. Ice? Where the hell do you live that you got ice in October? Antarctica? Ice. And here it is, 62 degrees in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So, well, good for you doing it in your house. I suppose that things get nasty out here with ice later in the season, it won't be till like January, February, but that I would do the same, or drive down to the mall and walk inside the mall. Brittany says, what got me going was the story I get to create. Yes! Everybody wants change to happen, but they don't want to put in the hard work to make that change happen. They don't want to create that new story, as you're saying, Brittany. They want to wallow in the story they have about themselves now. Well, see, I was always meant to be fat. I guess it was just destination. That I guess this is just the way I'm supposed to be. My darn family, genetics, oh my gosh. And we do all that to ourselves. We already have a story in mind. And I love what you're saying here. Write your own story. Write the story that you've always wanted. I'm doing that right now. I'm writing my own story. I'm not letting other people dominate my story. I'm writing the story. I love that. Life knocked me down. I got to create. I got pissed about it, and then reacted wrongly. Then I decided I want the story of picking myself up from the ground and then kicking my own ass. Yes. And you're still young enough that 10 years from now, you're still going to be young, and you'll be able to look back at that and go, whoa, way to go, Brittany, way to go. I love that. And there's nothing holding you back now. And you've got people in your life that won't let you be held back. So that's good too. You're a good motivator. Thank you, Del Norte. Go get after it. No more laziness. Decamere says, that's right, not being lazy. Just did my CrossFit workout of the day. Getting the wad in. You ever want to push yourself, you guys, try a CrossFit workout. You will leave there exhausted and exhilarated all at the same time. I'm hoping that as I get more fit, that maybe I can do some CrossFit as well. The flipping of the tire that I deeply desire to do is a part of kind of a CrossFit styled workout. So I do some of the things. They do box jumps, jump roping, of course heavy lifting. Watching people do that little snatch move when they're lifting the bar above their head, that just freaks me out though. That snatch move, that jerk move to put it above their head where you kick your legs. I just imagine my shoulder getting out of place, my knee cracking. I get it. Those things are unlikely, but when I see people doing that move, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Good morning, guys. Whew. Decamere says, now I'm reading my Bible and taking care of my inner self. I love it. You're not letting anything hold you back. Physically, mentally, spiritually, at all. That's wonderful. I think we all should get to that point where we're taking care of all parts of our health. I think when people hear health journey, they only think about the physical health, and they neglect mental health, emotional health, psychological health. Those things are, in my opinion, even more important than the physical health. Physical health is great, but getting all of those things in sequence, all working together, is wonderful. I should have put this as the reason, says Angie. I started a year ago. Okay. So you started a year ago, and now you have fear. Let's dig into that a little more, Angie. If you're still here, keep talking to me. Give me the story. Tell me what's going on there. Bulletproof coconut. Some people don't start because they don't truly want what they say they do. Oh, stepping on some toes, my brother. I was hoping somebody would say that, because it's true. They think they want something, but then when they find out this is what it takes to do it, no. And on second thought, I'm not interested in that. People say they want to lose weight, but then when you tell them how to do it and what you did when they ask you, they're like, nah, that's too much. Just give me a pill, give me a potion, give me a formula, and don't make it hard. Make it where I can still do all the things I want to do, no pain, and yet I still want the results. And those people don't realize you don't get the results from taking the easy way out. Now, you can go the opposite direction and do a very hard version of something. Hard doesn't always mean better. So find that happy balance between pushing yourself hard enough and yet not to the point that you get discouraged and you give up. I feel like my journey has been that I'm in that happy medium between pushing myself, but not so hard that I don't want to keep doing it. I'm pushing myself, yes. I'm doing all these things, yes. But I'm also honoring when the body says, you need a rest day, I'm resting. If I had to do all the things on my list every single day, never resting, having a certain amount of time with all of them, I think it would kick my ass. And I would have already quit by day 41. So it's good what you're saying there. You don't really want what you say you want. And you gotta want it. You gotta want it. Decamere says, fear comes from the evil one. God gives us life and gives it to us in abundance. Yeah. A lot of that fear is sown within yourself. You ask other people about the fears you have, they're gonna think you're nuts. What do you mean you're scared? What? What are you afraid of? But we talk to ourselves. The devil talks to us, as you're saying. It all manifests from within yourself, not from external. Actually, if I'm going to be honest, the external, most of them don't give a shit about your journey. They don't care at all. And so that's why you have to make that choice and come from within to defeat that. Kira says, I don't think you can disconnect a strong mind from a strong body. I can't imagine going through a divorce and heartbreaking betrayal from my boyfriend without keto and my physical body. Yeah, look, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. And what you went through, Kira, was an intense thing, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. But I know you well enough that it has made you stronger mentally as you were doing all the physical things for yourself as well. So kudos to you. You are a rare breed, my dear, that in the midst of tough emotional stuff, it drove you to the physical. So good job. And you are on the other side of things. Brittany's commenting on the tall reflection of my shadow. She says, be real. You are actually 4,000 feet tall. I am tall. I remember the first time I met Brittany, she went, wow, you're tall. 6'3" for those of you interested. Tall, dark, and handsome. At least that's what I tell myself. Shirley says, I tend to overthink things. I realized I have to just jump right in, head first, and work it out from there, or I'll never get started. Shirley, that is wonderful. You're so right. We hyper-analyze things. Well, I could start, but then I have this to take into consideration. Got to get the kids to the school at this time, and when would I fit in time to go to the gym? And you overthink, you overanalyze. And I think for people like that, this is where you incorporate your changes within your schedule. I think we believe when we take the kids to a soccer game, for example, we think we can't do anything during that time. What would stop you from, while you're at your kids' practice, just walking around the whole time? Practice is what, an hour, hour and a half? Just walk around at that time. So that's time you're already going to be spending there, and now you've bought back the time to now invest in a physical health journey by adding in some steps at that point. Good morning. And so you always find ways, and I love that. You have to just jump in. Head first, feet first, whatever first. Just get in that water and start doing something. I love it. Redeemed carnivore. I'm fearful of getting it wrong. What's wrong? What exactly is wrong on the journey? Thank you for sharing that, by the way, because I was hoping that's what somebody would say. There is no wrong when you're trying to do something good for yourself. Okay? So, and let's assume you're doing things the healthy way. You're following some protocol, redeemed carnivore. I know you eat a carnivore diet, and you've got a lot of reasons why you do that beyond weight. But what do you fear of getting wrong? There is no wrong. There's only, okay, let me try this way. And then if it's not helping you, you tweak it. You do it a little bit of another way. That doesn't work. You tweak it. You keep working on it. I don't get this mentality of it has to be 100% right from the get-go or the whole kit and caboodle isn't worth it. I have people tell me that about keto all the time. Well, I tried keto and it was just too restrictive for me. Okay, well, what are you eating? Oh, I'm having chicken breasts and broccoli. I'm starving all the time. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. And I'm like, who told you chicken breast and broccoli was keto? Well, I read this person online and they said to eat the leaner cuts and da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, well, how about we tell you what it really is and you do that and try that. But they still will fear they're going to do it wrong. Doing it wrong just means you're one step closer to finding what's right. That's the way to look at it. So if something's not quite right in what you're doing, or your fear is that you won't be able to do it, quote, right, let that go. Let it go. Let it go. Brittany says, well, I was afraid of pain. You got a nice lesson in no longer being afraid of pain. It's one of the reasons I convinced myself I couldn't. Well, I wasn't wrong. I just had to find a way, pain or not. And in your case, Brittany, you needed time to heal. Your mind healed long before your body did. And so your mind was like, let's go. And your body was like, bruh, hold my beer. We're not ready yet. But then you did this 75 hard. You accomplished it. What was it, the last day? You did the abdominal lifts with your legs to work on your core. And you were so fearful of working that because that's where the injury, where the surgery was. And then you did 7 of those bad boys where you thought you could do none. And yes, it was painful. Those, that little machine, what was it? The chair, captain's chair, and you hold your arms and then you lift your legs up. Oh, I hate that one. Partly because I'm middle heavy. So lifting my legs is not fun. And then, yeah, you really feel it in your core when you do that exercise. So you did it. And you're going to look back someday and say, man, I'm glad I no longer held myself back from doing that. You're going to re-strengthen that part of your body that you thought was broken, irreparable. And it wasn't. It was there all along, just waiting on you to be ready. Are you ready? You are now. Decamere says, that's right. When I'm hurt, like the leg, then I do upper body workouts. Our minds are looking for any excuse to stop. Just don't stop. Pause, yes. Take some rest if you need it, yes. But stopping, that's not going to happen. And as I've said, this is a 100-day journey for me, but 100 days to just get started for the rest of my life. I wanted this 100 days to catapult me and indirectly catapult you to get going on some kind of a journey. Because the moment we stop is the moment we start dying. We start becoming the opposite of what we want. And while stopping feels good in the moment, like I talked about earlier, down the road, you're going to wish you had never stopped. So, yes, Decamere, thank you for that. Linda says she lives in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Snowed yesterday. Wow. That's right. Somebody told me, and I actually had a speaking gig in, where was it? I can't remember the exact city, but it was like not a time when snow should have been on the ground. And I flew in, shorts and t-shirt on, and I get there and it's like 31 degrees, snowing, and I'm walking in the snow in my shorts and t-shirts and tennis shoes. People are looking at me like, stupid American. Yes. McKay, what's up, my brother? Good morning. Wim Hof. If I do that, I might pass out here. I like Wim Hof, but that is some intense breathing. Yes. Fall down 8 times, get up 9. And be prepared to get up 10. Because you will fall down. But you get right back up, don't you? Come put up hay on my farm next summer. No. You can handle that, McKay. I'm good, bruh. I'm good. Keto living through menopause says there's that fear. Yes. Fear drives so many people to go the opposite direction of what they really want to go. And let that be a lesson in today's update here. If you feel any kind of fear, first of all, acknowledge it. Okay, there's the fear. Then ask yourself, how real is that fear? Is that really something you need to be worried about? And I would even say, all right, if you do think it's something you need to worry about, test it just a little bit. Just test it. Just put the body, the mind, whatever it is you're fearing about, to the test about it. And go into it with the expectation that it's not real. Go into it thinking, all right, I'm going to prove this isn't real. Have that mindset and watch what happens. That would be an interesting experiment. Anytime you have a fear that's holding you back, I say go for it. Go for it and see how you do. I'm doing keto, low carb, as well as 16-8 and 48-hour fasting. That's awesome, Decamere. Keep it up. Kira says, can you imagine if you had to be back at day 1? That's scary to me. Oh, even worse than day 1 of this journey. Day 1 when I was 410 pounds back in 2004. I think about that boy often. I think about where I was in my life, early 30s. Day 1 of the Atkins diet. Having no idea what was about to happen to me. And had all these Coca-Cola addiction, Little Debbie snack cake addiction, fast food addiction. I was like a junkie on carbs and overloaded my system to the tune of about 15 to 1600 grams a day I was eating prior to me starting the Atkins diet. And then I go down to 20 grams of total carbs day number 1 from that 1600 grams of carbs. And it was a lot. And I remember how awful I felt. My body felt like it was in convulsions. It was just very uncomfortable. I would not want to go back to that again. And thankfully, when I started this journey, by the time I started this journey, I've been low carb for so long. I don't have the withdrawals. I don't really crave sugar or anything like that. But it's the next level of challenging myself. And that's where I'm at. But yes, day one, do not want to go back there. Even day one of this journey, my back was killing me. I didn't feel great about myself. Thus the reason why I was starting this journey. But now at day 41, I am glad that I started. I'm glad that I decided to go on this journey. It was exactly what I needed at this point in my life. I've got too many dreams for the future to let my current self stay where I'm at. And that's what keeps me from being held back. I have too many things I want to do in my life, in my health, in relationships, in my career, all the things. And the moment that I feel like, all right, pursuing none of that is a choice. No, it's not. Pursuing all of that is what I want. And I can't pursue all of that unless I'm doing what I'm doing right this moment. And it took day one, Kira, as you're saying, to get it going. Thankfully, day one is in the rearview mirror, way back there. Day 100 is even further ahead of me. But look, I'm not going to change overnight. And I've reminded myself of that as well. Maybe that's what's holding people back as well. Is, well, I'm just not going to see the results fast enough, so I can't stay focused. Okay, so as we talked about before, don't quantify your results. Just do it. Just do it. If you told somebody, all right, I want you to do all the things Jimmy is doing on a daily basis, but you have to weigh yourself twice a day. So you weigh yourself twice a day and do all the things. And then somebody else, they say, okay, do everything Jimmy's doing, but don't ever weigh yourself or anything. Who do you think is going to be more motivated? Think that through a little bit. Who's going to be more motivated? Is it the person that's weighing themselves twice a day? Or is it the person that's just doing all the things because this is just what you do? It's going to be the second one, you guys, because the first one is now getting another point of how they're doing, and it's going to psychologically mess with them. And yet most people, that's what holds them back is, well, I need to see results in the day to day. No, you don't. No, you don't. If people insist on weighing, I'm like, okay, once a month. Then you can see cumulatively over a month that you lost. But then you can't play the game of, well, I know I should have lost at least X amount of weight every week, and so therefore that number at the end of the month should be X times 4. And if it's not X times 4, but no, don't do that bullshit to yourself. Just know that if you weigh once a month and it's any loss with all the things you're doing, that's a win, even if it's 1 freaking pound. Okay? Is that what holds people back? This expectation of incredible change, and it doesn't go fast enough for them? Honestly, I don't care how long it takes to get my body where I need it to be. I'm not in this for a sprint, trying to get there as fast as I can. I'm doing all the things that I think will put my body in a good position, and it'll get there when it gets there. I'm not putting any time parameter. I'm not putting any weight loss goal parameter. I'm just not. I'm just doing all the things. Because if you do all the things and you do them consistently, how can you not succeed, right? Decamere says, bike riding is great as well. Changing it up. Yeah. I, when I was a kid, used to ride a bike. My problem around here is there's no good places to ride a bike. The traffic, the people driving do not honor bicyclists. And so if there was some place where I could have a bicycle lane and not fear getting run over, I would do it. But I love the walking. But yes, changing it up can be helpful. You're right. Mudfoot. Fear is thinking you won't get something you want or losing something that you have. You won't get something you want. Well, you won't get it if you do nothing. So your best option for getting what you want is actually doing something and overcoming that fear of doing. Because the alternative is doing nothing, and you most assuredly won't get what you want or losing something you have. Yeah, I'm trying to lose something I have. It's called this belly. I want to lose it so freaking bad. It's not even funny. Yeah, if you ask me, that's irrational. Very irrational. To let that fear of those things drive you into not taking action. Miss Stacia says, I need to live somewhere where it doesn't snow so much. Currently it's 32 and snowing. Yeah, but don't let that hold you back. Linda is also in the same boat, who watches my lives, and she's in her house pacing around. And yes, you might feel ridiculous walking around in your house, but you do it because that's what you need to do. Kira says, I don't know then my day 100 is because I keep moving the goalposts. All I know is I'm not finished. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing this 100 days publicly just to show people what I'm doing in the 100 days. But when the 100 days is over, I'm not done. I'm just getting started. And so the 100 days is just to stay accountable to myself with you guys, help motivate and encourage you guys to start your own. And then, yeah, when that time period is over, you just keep going for the rest of your life. I don't own a scale. That's awesome. I hate that scale so bad. It leads people down a really gnarly path mentally. It only motivates you partially, part of the time. I would dare say it demotivates people most of the time. Not helpful. Janet says, I call it kitchen walking. You're not alone. Yes. So if it's bad weather outside, it's easy to say, well, I can't walk today. Yeah, you can. And I've got some stairs in my second building. I would probably up my game those days and climb up and down stairs for a period of time. That's a workout there. So, oh, Kira, thank you for buying a badge. Yeah, if you guys like what I do on these morning walks or my podcast interviews, there's a little thing down there where you can buy a badge. It's a cool little thing that Instagram provides for people to go live. And you guys know I go live a lot between these morning walks and the Instagram lives that I do for my podcast. So if you want to help keep me going, that definitely helps. But yes, guys, if you came in late, this is day 41 of my stay-batical to 50, 100 days, seeking to change my body, my mind, my mindset, observing what's happening. And so far, so good. I'm in a groove now, I think is the word. It has definitely become a habit. It's definitely something that when I wake up in the morning, I'm immediately thinking of all the things I need to get done. Today's a little bit busier day for me. I'm on someone else's podcast at 11 a.m., which is just about 2.5 hours from now. And then I've got a podcast interview at 1 p.m. So fitting in my biohacks, I'll have to hurry some of the things. And so thank you, Janet. Appreciate you buying a badge as well. So good morning. So yeah, day 41, starting today, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me on my walk, as always. I usually, in the mornings, get past the school and make it to the starting point of the trail, which is right there, before I go live with you guys. But right here in the mornings is always so busy. They got a traffic cop here, another one down there, and then the school is over here. And as you can see, it's still very busy traffic on this road. So it's so noisy. I don't start when I'm on this road. But early in the morning when that school is, all the parents are dropping off their kids, it is helter-skelter. I'm like so afraid I'm going to get run over one of these days. If you read a headline, man attempting to change his life by walking daily gets run over by a car. Story at 11. Fun. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. I definitely love doing these morning updates. Hope you do as well. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't really prepare anything other than just a topic, a general topic. And look, if there's a topic you want me to talk about, I'm always game to talk about things that you're interested in. I do this for me, but I also do it for you guys. So drop in my DMs if you want to hear about a specific topic. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can join me live. I go live most days around 7:30-ish a.m. Eastern time. I'm still going with the sun. The sun currently is getting up around 7:30. And so at Living Low Carb Man over on Instagram. And yeah, if you missed any of the past episodes, go check me out. livinglavitalowcarb.com/staybatical. STAYBATTICAL. And you can see all that there. But I love this time we have together, you guys. Thank you guys for being so faithful and encouraging me. I get all kinds of DMs all the time from people telling me they're proud. They're happy to see my progress, that I've motivated them to start their own journey. And that was part of the reason I wanted to do this publicly, was I knew if you saw someone like me doing a journey, that it would encourage you, that it would take away all the excuses. It would take away the things that might be holding you back. And so I'm in it to win it, you guys. And I want you guys to be in it for the same reason. All right, wonderful people. Let me pop off of here for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we'll be back again real soon.